See, there are so many large language model tools like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Meta AI. Nowadays, so many tools came, right? But the common prompt which you use, which is the query which you ask, a specific query which you ask to ChatGPT, the same question if you are trying in Google Gemini, the Facebook Meta AI, and other tools, you will not get the same response. For some query you may get similar response, but some query you may not get the same response. Okay. So the query whatever you can see in the slides, that you can try in other source also. Other source also. In general, we ask to here it's kind of an example. I will just discussing about the chat gpt when we need to know some meaning of a device, tools, material, right? You'll write what is mean by so and so. So these normally people use these AI tools. Then to find the research gap, what you can do to conduct a literature review, what kind of uh, yeah, the reference can be provided, and to develop a research plan on a specific topic, what you have to do. So how to write thesis quickly. So these are all some frequent query in the day-to-day life. See, we talk to our friends, right, during our PhD or research time. Hey, how you are writing? How to write in? So do you have an outline for your research work, or what technique you use? How you rephrase? So basic queries, whatever we ask, all these query you can ask to the AI tool. The thing is, earlier days, uh, many query we will not comfortable in asking to our supervisors. Is there anyone you ask to your supervisor how to write research article, how to do literature review, how to write thesis, like what is Mendeley, what is Otero? Normally we don't ask to our supervisors. Sometimes supervisor is to share. There is a tool named Mendeley. You just learn and use for your work. That's all. We search in YouTube and so many sources, and we learn that we use it for our article. So that's how it goes on, right? So when you know some basic thing, which may be a little bit silly, and you may feel difficult to ask to your supervisors, all you can ask to these AI tools, the Chat GPT and LLM tools. Okay. Next, normally there are various codes like R code, MATLAB, Python, right? These in codes, if you need to plot a graph, okay. Earlier days, I still remember like large, like some a couple of years ago, for a simple like plotting the graph also we take lot of time to spend, learn and all. Now we just write to the chat GPT that write a R code to create a group bar chart. So what should be in the x-axis and what should be in the y-axis? X-axis is COVID positive in 2022. Y-axis is number of doctors on y-axis. Okay, so you can see the code will come. If you need any changes, you can you can do those changes, and the group bar chart can be plotted. So this is a very simple. Earlier days, I still even relevant to one of my research work. I just searched a code in AI tool, and it got the code, and I still remember some of my similar like juniors. They spent lot of time, nearly 1 year, lot of time they took for write like some 4 or 5 page of codes. But here, if you add the equations and if you mention the methodology very clearly, even you can get the code from these tools. But later on, you take the printout and read the code line by line, you'll be able to understand. Okay, the concept you must know. Okay, so that in case in future if you need to do any modification, editing, right, any corrections, it will be better. So purposefully I made an error. So I need to know that whether it can able to detect the error or not. So many. Even in industry, recently I met a person and he said, some any code, if there is maybe any manual error or something, so even they are using some LLM tools. Okay. So here is an R code I write, and purposefully in the last the curly brace is missed, and it it correctly provided that there is a missing closing curly brace at the end of the if statement. So and it gave the corrected code. It gave the corrected code because see normally we like when we in natural we may make some manual errors, right? So it correctly show the error and you can solve it. So when you submit your research article to some of the reputed journals, cover letter is mandatory. Elsewhere, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Emerald, Sage, these are some of the publishers, right? For these publishers, when you submit, cover letter is oh, cover letter is mandatory. சொல்லுங்க அண்ணா சொல்லுங்க ஆமாம் 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 ஒரு மீட்டிங் வேறு இருக்குது டக்குன்னு பார்த்து முடிச்சுட்டு போயிடலாமா ஜூடி ஜூடி இந்த கேஸ் ஏஜென்சியில் வந்திருக்காங்க இந்த பில்லு மட்டும் டக்குன்னு எடுத்துகிட்டு வா டக்குன்னு எடுத்துகிட்டு வா நீ லைனில் இருக்குது இடையில தான் அந்த பைப்பு மாற்றணும் நான் என்னெல்லாம் பிரச்சனை இல்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் இல்லை இடையில உங்கள் ஆஃபீஸ் மூலமாக அதில் ஏதோ லீக் ஆச்சுன்னு சொல்லி ஆன்லைன்லேயே இண்டியனில் கம்ப்ளைண்ட் பண்ணி அவங்க தான் வந்து மாற்றி கொடுத்தாங்க
சார் நீங்கள் அந்த மாதிரி மாற்றிருந்தா உங்களுக்கு ரெஜிஸ்டர் இருக்காது நீங்கள் டேரெக்டாக போய் வாங்கியிருந்தா தான் உங்களுக்கு ரெஜிஸ்டர் ஆகும்
ஆனால் அதுக்கு பில்லு உங்கள் ஆட்கள் தானே வந்தாங்க இல்லையா ஆன்லைனில் கம்ப்ளைண்ட் ரெஜிஸ்டர் ஆகி
இல்லை சார் அது லீக் ஆச்சு அது வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணது வந்து ப்ராப்ளம்காக ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க மற்றபடி உங்களுக்கு ரெஜிஸ்டர் இல்லை பாருங்க பில்லில்
ஏன்னா நீங்கள் அவங்கள்ட்ட இது பண்ணிக்கோங்க See, listen. So whenever we prepare our manuscript and when you submit to some journal, along with that we will submit another document called cover letter. So there are some important parameters should be there in the cover letter. First is how your research article is aligned with the journal's scope. Every journal will have a scope. Okay. Now I know many researchers they spend lot of time for this cover letter. So even recently what I did is I need to submit a cover letter. So I gave the abstract and I asked the AI tool that this is the abstract, for based on this abstract you write a cover letter. So how this is aligned with the journal name, everything it's made. Only the top the author's name and bottom the regards, the editor-in-chief name, very basic information I just provided, rest all were done. Okay. The next is in a very normally introduction part when you write for our research article, even you can see here the title is I'm writing a research article on how COVID lockdown reduced the air pollution in India. We all know COVID, okay. We had a good lockdown like some 2 weeks or some months also we like many we stayed in our home. There are some advantages and disadvantages. Advantages, air pollution got reduced, right? Disadvantages, many of their like jobs were got lost and lot of incident happened. If you are writing a research article relevant to this, the introduction part when you write for your research article, some basic informations as you see here, the COVID-19 pandemic impact the whole world. So these first 4-5 sentences even you can use for your introduction part, like part of your research article. Not full content, like first 4 sentences. So write an introduction to your research article with this abstract. Now you have an abstract. Based on the abstract also you can ask the AI tool to write an introduction. So you will get a content. Then I am having an abstract. Based on the abstract I am suggesting that I need 5 titles. So even for title the AI tool will provide random title, but here in this 5 title only 3 is closely related. Okay, So why I'm asking that if you ask 5 it will provide 5, if you ask 10 it will provide 10. But even though you may use AI tool, but finally you are responsible to choose which is the correct one. For example, the last one I can't use, low power matter for mitigating and all. Okay, low power magnetic dampers I can't able to use it, but that is not a correct title, because the objective and the other methodology part is totally different. And then one more title, synthesize, you can use it. Even that semi-active damping also slightly, that is not suggestible. Others are fine. Other three, the 4, 1, 3, 4 is fine. So that's what in most of my session I used to tell. When you complete your research, like if you are doing a PhD scholar, after your PhD, if you are using this tool, it will be much better, because you know to decide which is correct and which is wrong. Otherwise, what you will do, whatever it's coming, okay, you just read, okay, it is good, fancy, from reading, okay, you just put anyone and you send to your supervisor. Again, your supervisor has to correct it, or your reviewer has to correct it, or your production editor or editor in chief, somebody should correct it, right? So you should be in a position to check whether it's correct or not. Okay, that is very important. Next is discussion part. You write a content for your results. See, you have a graph, you have an x-axis, y-axis, you having plotted a graph. So maybe the linear graph, you have some values, right? So this discussion should be like directly you can write a points by points, and you can make as a discussion also. So that also you can use some AI tools. So this is the content of one of my article. You can find much more results. So it converted as a discussion part. Okay. Then can you improve the passage using active and passive voice? Normally some like when after your article is getting accepted, your article will be moved to the copy editors or proof editors or production editor from the journal part. So they will check the grammar, typos and all, right? So some sentences or some part they will suggest you to change. So in that case you can use this tool. So if you need to improve the passage, that also you can use AI tool. So we have a content, you need to ask what is the future research or future 3 research direction in the topic. See, we know the must written content of your conclusion part is future work in the conclusion. At least 1-2 sentence, most of the time authors you must write. If not, obviously reviewer will ask that as a question and then you will add again. So if you know, you can add. If you don't know, you can ask this AI tool that can provide some suggestion. Based on that you can add it. So whenever you are writing, your article is published, so you are maybe you need to tweet in X, right? Now it is not Twitter, it is changed to X or any other social network. So based on the abstract, if you just incorporate and you ask the question, and it will provide 3 tweets. So these tweets you can add in your LinkedIn or any other source, and you can upload the your research article, maybe the first 2 pages or 3 pages, some minimal content, so that it can be helpful. Okay, see the citation, all small things happen through this source. Then can you explain a research to a 12-year-old? For example, I don't know whether you had a feeling in the first year of your PhD time. I think many are research scholars, some are faculties. During our research time, when we read the abstract of a research article, many a time we find that we may not understand certain things. I don't know whether anybody have such experience. I had such experience during my first year of my PhD time. Certain articles, it's a quality article, okay, from some of the top publishers with having high impact factor journals. When we read even some of the abstract and the body of the article, some content, because we are in the initial stage, right? Some of the technical content obviously we don't know. So I personally find very difficult. Similarly, many researchers I have seen, okay, initially they find difficult. Nowadays even, see, because when we are reading we are finding difficult. Nowadays many research scholars, they are not reading also. Without reading, they are writing published articles, they are completing degree. So that's how now it came. But if you need to read, understand, gain knowledge is very important. Okay, you can nowadays without publication you can complete. So recently I met a scholar in Coimbatore, and I asked her how is the like your article, like PhD is going well, and she said I published one article recently, because normally in many institute, first year in your PhD, the first semester itself the professor will ask to first you publish a literature review article, like that, right? So without doing a literature review article, right, whichever, without doing a proper literature review, the scholar just using SciSpace, Elicit, some of the literature summarizing tools are there, right? She just copied the content, refreshed, and she just pasted and completed one full article. She completed one full article. Now, as she completed the full, then I asked her, okay, how the knowledge, how much, like how many number of, I think more than 100 articles she reviewed and she incorporated, but what is the knowledge? And when I asked what is the knowledge, she said nothing. I just copied summary, then rephrased using some of the tools, and finally I checked the plagiarism. So whatever is getting plagiarized, those details she just changed and all. So that's how it happened. Now, always you must understand one thing: research with knowledge will take to the innovation and other next level. But uh, you are doing research without knowledge, it will be very difficult. Okay, you can't, because next 30 years you can't survive without reading, getting knowledge, without doing proper literature review. I know many researchers recently, even some of my students recently, one guy just I asked him to do the body of the article is done, then at last I asked him to write the literature review introduction part. You take some around 40 articles. So we both sit together and took 40 articles, and I said you read the abstract, conclusion, body of the article. So bring like 3 to 5 sentences for each article. So next day he brought for 40 articles. So how 40 articles? See, evening we are discussing. Next day morning, this person, student, undergrad student, he bring 40 articles. Then I asked him, okay, you tell me some 5 journals names. He don't know. I asked him, can you tell me some, at least some 5-6 authors name as you gone through? He don't know. I asked him, have you seen some of the keywords? He don't know properly. So I asked him, you just tell some 5 objectives. Every abstract will have a lot of objective. You tell me, you don't know. But he completed 40 articles. He just rephrasing. Summary, rephrase. Only that thing they know. No reading, nothing. Okay. So the thing is, sometimes when you find difficulty in similar in the initial days to make yourself understand the work little bit better, I just put a like here, like, can you explain as a 12-year-old, but you can ask, can you explain as a 16-year-old or 20-year-old, which means the hard part of your abstract will, the language will be little bit like simple. One second, please wait. You want Matri, want us? Ah, yes, okay. So for that purpose you can use this kind of content. Even you can see here, see this is one of my article abstract, and now here you can find in a very simplified manner. See, for example, if my son or daughter are studying, they are just 12 years old, and I like to make them to learn about some of the literatures, and these things will help. So when they need to read about some article, you can see here how simple. If you just read this content, even when I read like this content, like after reading this, when you read that abstract, it will be very simple. See, final objective is what, when you do research and all, you need to learn, you need to gain knowledge, you need to like acquire more knowledge on that area. Okay, if you need to be an expert, if you need to be a good researcher on that area, you need to learn a lot of things. So you can see with a very simple issue. So scientists made something called MR damper, and that can help buildings stay safe during earthquakes. They wanted to test it out of small one-story building made of concrete. So they built 3 of these little buildings and they put the MR damper in one of them. See, even really, like the initial day, when you read this and when you go here, you will understand. Okay, because even I hear from some of my student also, they used to tell, sir, it's very difficult to understand what they're telling and all. So we can use these types of prompts to understand the work better. And the outline, see, write an outline for literature review article. So if you have an outline, based on the outline you can able to like you can separate the headings, and for these headings you can collect literature. Maybe for each heading you have some 7 to 10 articles. Some, if you have some 10 outline, see this I have cropped it, but I have more content, so you will have some around 120 150 article just for a Scopus index or some minimal article you can prepare. Some kind of outline you will get from this tool. Then keywords. So I prepared my abstract. For this abstract I just asked the AI tool to provide the keywords. So keywords is fine, okay, but the reduced scale testing alone should be like scale down model or some other words can be used, but rest all were fine. But that's what I said, if you need 5, don't ask 5 in AI tool, ask 7. Then, which is not like, you can at least remove 2 and you can take the remaining 5. So many researchers, they just ask 5, they copy paste, that's all. That is the problem. Okay, so can you know the screen is visible now? Anyone?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, visible, right? But Professor Abhignak Sandaram, can you please log out and please join in again if possible? Okay, see, the next thing is paraphrase. See, here the main important thing for paraphrase using ChatGPT is you need to write a correct prompt, that is rewrite it by using synonyms except for words strictly related, which means if you type, how many of you went to the website called thesaurus.com or other synonyms websites are there? If you go there for single word, if you type better, for synonyms word better, if you will have some 13-14 words, but whichever is closely related, that alone can be changed. Okay, this, if you put this prompt correctly, it will change properly, it will change. Even in ChatGPT, if you use this prompt and if it is changed rephrasing, you will not get single plagiarism also. I tried it, checked in Turnitin. Okay, the thing is made, see, I know many researchers, even they don't type something, they put some content, comma, paraphrase, that's all, take it, use it. The prompt, the write up which you making is very, very important. You are planning to do an experimental work, you need some tips like how to do, when to start, where to start, what equipment, how many specimen, what observation, what rating, some very basic informations. So how you can record the data, how to analyze the data, so all some basic information you can get it. So suggested related article, so relevant to the topic, right? Behavior of nurses during COVID-19. So I asked the AI tool to provide related work. It gave some 5 articles. Now this is from one of my article. See, some journals introduction part must be 200. Some journals it should be maximum 250. Maximum 250, not more than that. So in one journal I received a query that it must be it should be 250 words. So in one of my article I had around 175 words. So I tried to increase the number of words. So you search in even in the AI tools, increase the number of words from this to this. So it will automatically convert. It will convert automatically. The next important option is highlights. How many of you saw these highlights in Science Direct? So these Science Direct, Scopus, Scimago, site score, then relics. So many things are belongs to the elsewhere publication group. So the highlights mostly will have 4 points, 4 or 5 points maximum, 4 points. In these 4 points will be have every point should have only single sentence. You cannot find highlights with a single point, single bulletins with multiple sentence. Single bulletin with single sentence. So that is a rule. Okay. So I just uploaded one of my article. I asked the AI tool to extract 5 highlights points with single sentence from the attached file. So it perfectly did it. But this is my published article. But many researchers are scared. Sir, if I am submitting the unpublished article, that may also show as the internet source and all. It will not show much. But the main important thing is, for that, in such cases, you can use only the abstract and conclusion. Even though there is any error, means you can rephrase and you can completely see. Journal does not look for 0% plagiarism. So 15%, 20% is allowed to the maximum. Okay. Now table caption. So you can see this table caption as table 2, table 1, right? The table 2 is in bold and there is no full stop next to the 2, right? And here you can see after table 3 it is mentioned full stop. At the end of the title you have the full stop, right? So and it is in bold italic. So these small template formats are very important. Now I have the table caption. So I am requesting the AI tool to add table caption with the required formatting. So based on the format it properly changed it. Similarly for figure caption also you can work it. So every journal will have multiple figures. Figure will have a figure caption. Below the figure you will have a figure caption. Table caption will be above the table. Table 1 and you will have the table. Figure caption will be below the table. Sometimes you are finding difficult. So what table, what figure caption then I can I like revise or can I add it? So I just uploaded the figure inside the ChatGPT. So as the AI tool suggests suitable figure caption. So it showed the figure 1 comparison of finite element results with experiment, right? Results for lateral load versus lateral. So at least you can remove that experiment or comparison of results, because the experiment FE is mentioned in the graph. So you can remove that finite element and the experiment and you can mention comparison of lateral load versus lateral displacement for test, or you can use some other common words. So I am having a content. I am planning to prepare based on the content to my PPT. So I need in PPT I have a heading called objective. So this objective I am converting to like I am converting this objective into a yeah, here you can see, yeah, based on this content I am just the full abstract I am just preparing a objective. This objective I need in points by points. It give me same message I just mentioned in points. It give me like to validate, to demonstrate, to compare, to synthesize, to design, then to provide a better to compare the performance, to synthesize MR fluid, to design, to provide like this. So these are all content you can use it. And PhD coursework. So what are the subject course you need to learn for your research work based on your objective? So when you are submitting your article, you need a checklist, right? So this checklist you can use it. Textbook we use for research methodology. I think in India we use one second. One minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Hello? Hello, sir? One second. Uh, 1 minute. Okay, madam, I think Sneha. Can you please uh, mute it? Okay, thank you. See, uh, mainly in India, we prefer this Kothari and Gaurav Garg book for learning research methodology. There are other textbooks you can get from the AI tools. So, search engines. For collecting literatures, we have a lot of search engines. If you ask 20, the AI tool will provide 20. If you ask 100, it will provide 100. Very simple. Okay. You have time to collect literature relevant to your topic for like you have more time, you can search lot of search engines. If you don't have enough time, prefer some of the best like Sci-Hub and LibGen. Like Sci-Hub and LibGen, if you need some other source to download literatures, Copernio and Unpaywall. Copernio and Unpaywall. So I'm having an abstract. In overall, the abstract of a research article consists of background work, objective, methodology, findings, then concluding remarks. Now, to improve the quality of this abstract, after completing your abstract, you can ask this question: does the abstract provide a clear and concise summary of the study? Is the purpose of the study clearly stated in the abstract? So these are the query you can ask. So how to increase the citation for my research article? So some of the I reference management tool. So these are some frequent questions we ask, right? So all these queries you can ask in these AI tool. 5 social academic network. So now I am having a table. That table need to be converted to sentences. The table need to be converted to sentences. So just copy and paste it. You mentioned that discuss about this table, so it will discuss. Then provide 2 reference article for some topic plus with DOI. So it provide 2 articles with DOI. And this is the first one is APA 6th edition, I think. Second is APA 7th edition. Yeah. So I requested the AI tool to convert to APA 7th edition. It perfectly it's converted. Now write a MATLAB code for finding the damping force. This is relevant to my research work, and it provided the code. And I just copied this code and pasted in MATLAB Live, and it plotted the graph. The data is good. The program is good. So it's good actually. See, like you do not do. See, you have an equations in your hand. You just import it, and it will done their job in preparing the coding. So you see a flowchart, but you need to understand the flowchart better. You just copy the link and paste it. It will explain about the each and every stages of the flowchart. Summarizing. So I just added 3 articles and requested the AI tool to summarize. So the summarizing part is also can be possible. Many will have a query that the writing certain number of words in 3 months, can I get the schedule? Even that schedule can be provided by the AI tool. I just played a video. I request the professors or researchers to share in uh, the chat. Share in the chat that what you understand from this video. Once again, I will play. Professors, can you give a try? Researchers, students. Questions. I just played a video. I like to know what you observed from that video. I think it's just 15-20 seconds. I think some 10-12 seconds, that's all. With a very short video. So once again I will play. See, in life science, social science, then some kind of clinical research, in certain research, market research, certain type of research, you will have a lot of datas, right? And you will analyze, like, see, we many use this, what is that, ANOVA, SPSS, and other tools, right? Nowadays, you will have a, one second, you can see the question asked. Sale data, the Excel sheet is attached, and at last it is mentioned, analyze this data, do deep technical and statistical analysis, generate charts and graphs. Very simple, right? Very simple. Yes, professor. See, you have to upload the data in spreadsheet. Okay, in Excel sheet, you have to XLS format, you have to upload. Now, because earlier days you spend a lot of time for analysis, right? Learning SPSS takes 6 months, 1 year, attending lot of session and all. So I have seen some of the theses. So now this, you upload this data, you get this graph, and your article is ready. Nearly 8 to 9 graphs are available. The discussion part, whatever write up, that you can do it. Okay, so just in 9 seconds this video is gone, this is done. Okay, because I know recently met a scholar and he said, sir, I am doing PhD for 7.5 years. How many years? 7.5 years. Now the problem is that yeah, 7.5 years. Normally many institutes 7 years it will be done, but here in private university they will extend. They will tell the reasons like COVID 2 years, and they will so these things happen. But not published article and he completed. He not used AI tools and not completed, or his professors were not well known to using any AI tool, and they were, see, there are scholars. Just 9 seconds, this full analysis is done. By having this data, they need to read other literatures and they have to write it, and their work is done. And they have to go for publication only. Okay. See, why I am sharing all this option is nowadays, I know many researchers will be quite busy with lot of rankings, lot of accreditations, lot of clerical activities, right? So for research works and all, try to do some smart work. Not, see, reading for certain things you must spend, but for type of analyzing, you can. But after the analysis, you take the results, you understand what the how the results came, and whether the results are correct or not. So this work you can do, but like what type of analysis it is doing, that should be properly given. So that how you need to work. Okay. Now we have seen what are the possible things using these LLM tools. So before going to what are all not possible, we will have a 5 minutes break. Now its time is 6:17, 6:18. We will come back at 7:23. 6:23. Okay, 5 minutes break. See, we are all, most of them are faculties, right? So normally, 15 minutes is, in recent survey says that you can able to listen properly and all, right? So take 5 minutes break, then you will come again and you will continue. Okay, thank you. Please wait. So a 5 minutes break. So we are continuing it. Yes, Professor, the recordings will be provided. So we had some 5 minutes break. So I'm just continuing. So we see what all things are possible, right? No, what are things are not possible. Have you seen this response many time when you search any prompts in some of the AI tools, you will get as a language model. They don't have an access. It is not possible. So some kind of content you will get. In AI tool, the comparison is not possible regarding the previous work. As an AI language model, I don't have an access. Regarding citation information, I apologize, as AI language model I do not have the access. Then I just searched about some of the content, like how many participants were required to study the behavior of nurses. So it shows just 30 participants. So that is very less. Sometimes it will give a response and that will be wrong. Okay, so that is not correct. Exactly not correct. So graphical abstract is not possible. Improper summarization. See, I don't know. I think faculty will have this experience. There will be some student. They will be some student will writing the question again as an answer. If you ask what is xxx means, they will write. So xx means xxx, like that they will be writing, right? Some students. Similarly, it will summarize. Okay. So because there are researchers, they don't even think. Okay, they think okay, they just copy and paste it. Okay, so you have to be very clear. Read the content. So one professor in my LinkedIn only, he just said, I just asked about me to the ChatGPT, and so rather than asking me, I asked some of my expert in my area of research work, a professor from IIT Delhi, Dipti Ranjan Sahu. So it finally mentioned that actually he is from civil engineering, and it mentioned that he is from some other department. Yeah. So he is from Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So what I want to tell is that name, there is no computer science faculty, only a faculty in civil engineering, but it will change, because sometimes some professors there are the last moment hurry to tell about introduction about some professors. So they will ask the ChatGPT like this. They will ask first, then I need to write introduction about this professors. So like this, they are repeatedly some prompts there they will ask. In that case, if the first answer itself if it's wrong, you need to stop it. Okay, so the prompt which you ask is very very important. For example, this professor is talking as a keynote speaker. So introduce him. I am just telling, yeah, he's a professor from computer science and engineering and all. We know normally if you are conducting an event, we know he's from civil. But if the content is prepared by someone and it is given to some students to read, they don't like practice for some reading, some students. Okay, so the content what you take and add it, file it, work it, that is very very important. Read without reading, you'll have lot of problems if you're not reading well. So in many similar sessions, participants will ask me, sir, for 10,000 words, can I write the full article using this AI tool and complete? In a single response, it is not possible. In a multiple, see, in the earlier slides, I mentioned about the literature review outline, right? So some 15-20 headings were there. Means for each heading, you can spend little bit time. If you work, it is possible. But as a single response, 10,000 words is not possible. So content needs now it will show 2023. Okay. And the main important thing is nowadays many researchers they are adding Google Gemini, ChatGPT, Meta AI as an co-author. See who is an author? Author is a person. Okay, you should not use ChatGPT as an author. And elsewhere they give a proper guideline that to improve the readability and other purpose if you are using, you must like inform these details in the article. Okay, even interpreting data, as whatever you are using. If you are using, you must incorporate these details, because the transparency in publication is, like the writing research article, is very important. So recently, when I plan to upload one of my article in this journal, which is elsewhere, I think if you have some experience, you could also seen. So did you use generative AI? If you use generative AI, you need to add this declaration of generative AI and AI assisted technologies. Okay, what is the tool you have used? So similarly in Springer Nature also, they clearly mentioned it should be mentioned in the method or acknowledgement section, because AI tools cannot take any responsibility as an author. Okay, author is different. This you search and get some response, right? That is different. Okay, now we move to the another tool called Elicit. So Elicit and SciSpace, two important tools that is mostly helpful for researchers for writing the introduction part of their research article. I just put a search key like title on how COVID lockdown reduced the air pollution in India. In the left side, you will have abstract, intervention, outcome, number of participants, limitations, methodology. So all these details will be available in the left. So whenever click each details, a new column will be generated. When I click abstract summary, a new column abstract summary is generated for several articles. Similarly, if you type number of participants, another part you can see here. Then if you need to search something beyond the template, you can also search it. So regarding behavior of nurses during COVID, so I just search number of participants. The first two articles are same, but it is added in two different source. Then Elicit helps to paraphrase also. Paraphrasing also possible. I like to know whether you if you are not able to listen the voice, please let me know.
When it comes to streamlining your research, two AI research tools stand tall: Elicit AI and SciSpace. Starting with Elicit AI. Want to research specific topics or keywords? Elicit scours multiple databases, pulling in research papers tailored to your interest.
See, can I know the voice is audible? You are able to
Yes, sir. Audible.
listen? Anyone please help me, yes or no, in the chat box. Okay, it's audible. Okay, thank you.
When it comes to streamlining your research, two AI research tools stand tall: Elicit AI and SciSpace. Starting with Elicit AI. Want to research specific topics or keywords? Elicit scours multiple databases, pulling in research papers tailored to your interests. A concise summary of the top 4 papers is at your fingertips, so you grasp the core ideas quickly. Switching gears to SciSpace. Similarly, enter your desired keywords or topics. SciSpace fetches research papers from its vast repository of more than 270 million publications. Not only that, it provides detailed insights from the top 5 papers, ensuring you're equipped with the best information with citations. Custom columns. Elicit AI allows you to add custom columns for information on interventions, outcomes, and more. While SciSpace lets you input details like conclusions and methodologies. In terms of language support, Elicit is primarily English focused. But here's where SciSpace shines, offering interactions in a whopping 75 plus languages. When summarizing papers, Elicit provides concise summaries of the top 4, but SciSpace goes a step further. It gives detailed insights from the top 5 papers. Both tools offer advanced customization for your search. Whether it's by keywords, publishing date, or specific sections of a paper. Got questions about a paper? With SciSpace Copilot AI, just ask away. While Elicit AI also offers deep insights with its AI assistant. Exporting made easy, Elicit supports BIB and CSV file exports.
Sir?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you, sir.
Sir, can we get the video of this presentation?
Can you?
Sir, can we get the video of this presentation?
Yeah, I hear that many of them able to listen this audio.
Yes. Can we get the audio or video of this?
Yeah, you can get.
Session?
Yeah. Video you will be getting, sir. Video you will be getting.
So, yeah, by mail.
Yeah, we will share in the drive and we will share the drive link, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Can you please mute your audio, sir? See, the next tool is SciSpace. See, Elicit and SciSpace mostly used for summarizing the content from each and every article, because we know from each and every article you will have they will have the proper methodology, you will have the objective, then the participants, then for example some kind of findings you will get, then so these are all various sections. Maybe there may be some limitations, so concluding remarks, future work. So these are the part of the body of the article. The full article will have all the similar contents, but when you click this part, like summarize, means it will summarize like 2 to 3 sentences and it will provide you. So similarly for each and every article, that makes your time. But always remember, when you do these things, if you know about the research work, it may be time consuming and all, but if not, it will be very difficult. You will not understand what it is. There are researchers without not knowing anything, they are still writing research contents. Okay. Similarly, the same thing in Elicit. Earlier the language is not available, but recently they have included the language option also, and both similar. The summarizing part is both similar in Elicit and SciSpace, and even this both tool has recent articles, and even SciSpace office is in Bangalore. You can search. SciSpace is found by Indian, I think a scholar from MIT or some abroad student, and he made this SciSpace. So Elicit also a good tool. Okay, like anyone you can use it effectively. Few options options are available which is in SciSpace. It's not there in Elicit. So I will show what are the option in available in SciSpace. So I just search a keyword, the search topic like impact of COVID lockdown in India. I get lot of search results, and I take 13,515 results were found, right? So if you need all the PDF, all the open access, or which type of article, who are all the authors based on the institutions, so you can select that and you can explore it, right? So you can see your PDF, you will get only 5,500. So what are the topics? During COVID lockdown, population got reduced, not reduced or increased, reduced, right? So many passed away. Then mental health, pandemic, anxiety, healthcare, air quality. So these are some of the topics that is relevant to the COVID lockdown. So that topics, based on that topic, you can find more literatures also. The best thing is this: you open a PDF, you just select the title, you ask the AI tool to explain text, which is a Copilot. Copilot will be explaining it. as just select and explain, you will it will be explained. And as Elicit has some default like questions, the prompts. Similarly, in this Copilot also have some 11 suggestions. Conclusion, results, methods, everything will be in 2 to 3 sentences or maximum 4-5 sentences. So in each article you can spend some time on preparing the notes that can be helpful for a long run. So I just open this article. I need to know how many number of online survey happen. So it is 282 and in-depth interviews happened is 14. Then you can use for citation. The SciSpace can help you to for citation also. You just copy the title and search, then it will show you belongs to which APA style. So I asked APA 7th edition, based on that the citation works. Similarly, if you need to change to 7th edition, MLA, Vancouver, elsewhere, any changes you can change it. And the unique option in this SciSpace is that, so you are reading the article, in between you are having a figure like this and you may find difficult to understand. Just select this image and leave it, you will get the explanation in the right side. Similarly, you select this table and leave it, you will get the explanation in the right side. So when you are reading your research article, sometimes some acronym you may not able to know what it is. You just select it and click explain text, so it will explain. And there is an option called trace option. This trace option based on the articles, citations and reference. So all the related papers, all cited articles, whatever reference they had, so based on this it will provide you the tracing details.
Wondering how to begin your literature review? You could either open dozens of tabs to find.
See, can I know the voice is audible? Once again, can anyone please help me? Yes or no? Okay, no audio.
Yes, sir.
So, yes, okay, thank you. Not audible, but some are saying it's audible. How come? 1 second.
Wondering how to begin your literature review? You could either.
So you are telling my voice is audible. Sorry. I'm just the video which I played, right? I'm just asking whether that is audible. So now I'm just playing once again. Just check whether it is audible or not. Not my audio.
Open dozens of tabs to find papers, then spend days skimming through them. Or you could simply go to SciSpace, enter a question, and get relevant scientific articles.
Okay, I think now it's audible. Thank you.
wondering how to begin your literature review? You could either open dozens of tabs to find papers, then spend days skimming through them, or you could simply go to SciSpace, enter a question, and get relevant scientific articles. Their insights, summaries, methodology, and so much more, all in one place. On SciSpace's Literature Review Workspace, you can compare multiple papers side by side, customize your collection, and focus on the most relevant information. Want to examine the practical implications instead of contributions? No problem. What's better? If you have any questions about an insight or an article, SciSpace Copilot is always there to answer. Also, for those of you who struggle with English, haga todo esto en su lengua materna. Conduct your literature review effortlessly. Start with SciSpace today.
Yeah, I will say, if possible, I will share the link, or I will drag and add it in a drive, and I will share the drive link. Okay. See, the next tool is named as Connected Papers. The purpose of Connected Papers, in its name, if you search the recent published article, the connection of that article will be very less. Only the reference will be its connection. I am publishing an article, I have 40 article in the introduction part and body of the article. I have 40 reference, means we know that okay, these 40 articles are closely relevant to this article, right? Then as days goes on, after 10 years, if you look into the same article, if that has some 500 citation, do you think that 500 citation is not relevant to that article? No, because most of the articles which is relevant, they only will be doing the citations. Okay, which means they only give acknowledge or give credit to that research article. So connected articles, if I search a keyword title, maybe the air pollution lockdown in India, it will build a graph. After building the graph, you will get this picture. Now you can see the middle one, it's little bit the red color, right? So that is the first article. The first you can see the closer one. The closer one is the close relevant articles. Okay, so far there are some content that is not closely relevant. So when you search even in Google Scholar, any source, some articles will be relevant, some articles will not be relevant, right? Now the first article, then second article, and in the right side you can see the Semantic Scholar, DOI, Google Scholar, then PubMed. Then you can add this as a there is a space, cloud space to add. Then open graph option is also there. For new article, again a new graph will be plotted. So you can see the right side for the second article, effect of restricted emission during COVID-19, there are 805 citations. Do you think all the 805 articles are closely relevant? No, not 805 articles. So whichever is closely relevant, those articles alone will be available here. Then all these articles can be downloaded, and there is a connection between Zotero and Connected Papers. So whatever articles you add here, and you can directly import to Zotero easily, okay, for the reference management purpose. You can see here in the top the Connected Papers for effect of restricted emission. We have some numbers, right? So there are two information here, prior works and derivative works. Prior works, which mean most common cited articles, and derivative works means most recent relevant articles. So based on this you will get lot of search results. Okay, the other tools you will see in the next class.